Hail and welcome to Cory's Corner. Of course, this being Devil's Night, at least here in the United States, we're having a great time. So, we're going to be talking about ghosts, goblins, ghouls, and monsters, all from legend, no cryptids included. But joining us today is the awesome Jason Fox. How you doing today, sir?
Hey everybody, I'm doing pretty well, man. A little tired, but that's nothing news. But other than that, I'm fine, dude. Been chilling. Was at the store earlier. Had to wait almost. I think when I looked at the clock when I got home, it was almost 2 hours because I have no clue what the fuck they're doing. But it's a lot of snow outside, so I had to wait
Yeah, Norway tends to get a little bit of snow this time of
a
year.
little bit, a little bit.
So hail to Vince Womack over in the chat. Hope you're doing well, bro. Great to see you here. He says to go get some merchandise, some music, and that one doesn't want to show up. None of it wants to.
Is StreamYard working today?
My StreamYard's being a piece of shit.
Yes.
Go away.
StreamYard has been
Thank you.
acting up, and yesterday YouTube was acting up, and YouTube came out and there's a lot of problems with their servers. So everyone who was streaming on YouTube, then what happened is that the stream didn't want to work. It was just lagging and you got errors and every single thing. So I don't know how many hours they spent to actually fix it.
Probably about 20 minutes.
The thing is
Because
that a
it
lot
was
of
probably something super simple, but they're just too stupid to handle it quickly.
Yes, exactly. And I'm like trying to watch my friends, streaming, and I'm just like, hey, just a heads up, I can't watch you guys. I'm going over to Rumble to watch you guys because YouTube is a fucked up place right now.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
All the time. Vince Womack says Rumble doesn't show me the chat at the moment.
What?
That okay?
First StreamYard, YouTube, and Rumble? God
Yeah,
damn, dude.
right? Like what the hell? Rumble's really weird though because like you'll be trying to chat in the live stream and it'll be putting it in the comment section.
Yeah, I've
And you're
seen that happen. Yeah.
and it doesn't tell me that people have commented in the comment section until after
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
So
No,
it's really
StreamYard,
weird.
no, Rumble is up and down. They are good at a lot of other stuff, but they have to fix certain stuff to be
Yeah,
a little bit
they need to
better.
fix a lot.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be honest, Rumble and YouTube are both kind of broken.
Yes.
What choice do we have? I mean, honestly, you
Exactly.
really think I'm gonna go to BitChute at this point?
Yeah. Or you think we can
Bit
talk about stuff we do on Twitch?
well, right? Yeah, good luck with that. I just want to say about BitChute, bitch is in its name. Just saying. I mean, come on. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is Halloween season over here, and I don't know about everybody at home, but me and Jason really like horror stuff.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
there's
I was
there's
born
there's
in October. Of course I am.
yeah, it's awesome. Uh, yeah, so today we're going to be talking about what our favorite monsters are from legend. This, of course, is for me the vampire. Uh, and like I like how it's changed from like I'm going to eat your baby to I want to make you my wife for whatever reason.
Yeah,
But it's an interesting trip with the vampire lore and
it
stuff.
is. And for me too, it is vampires. And the reason I got really into vampires is because when I was super young, my dad showed me a lot of vampire movies, and when I was older, I saw the first Blade movie, and that just
Oh
sold
yeah.
me into the vampire world.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, that first Blade movie was a trip back
Yeah,
in the day before we got all this crazy vampire
yeah.
movie shit. So what would you say is your favorite vampire movie then?
My favorite vampire movie, it has to be either Blade 1 or Blade 2. But I'm really into the Underworld movies. I really
Mm,
like the first and second Underworld movie
those
because I
were
think,
really well done.
yeah, and I know back in the day too, they actually had planned out to have a crossover with Blade and Underworld. And I remember Katie, the woman who plays the main role in Underworld, she
Mhm.
was really sad that never happened because I think that could have been really cool, even though it's a Marvel property, but they still want to do something with that property with Underworld. I'm like, Blade meeting her, they team up. It's a come two badass motherfuckers. Hey, and that would be the worst,
Yeah,
that
it would.
yeah, a black man and a woman. Hey, hey.
Yeah. And
But
I think that would have been a really kick-ass crossover. Like that probably would have done some box office records for its genre type anyway.
yeah, but
Like
it is hard to find. I'm trying to figure out if Blade is the first Blade or the second Blade or the first or second. Underworld is my favorite because I like them so much. But if I'm gonna choose, I kind of want to say Blade 2, and the reason is because that was such a unique movie and it was so different than other movies. It was like more different than also the first one, and the way they treated the mutant, the vampires that have mutated a little, and all that's just like it was really interesting to see.
for real, yeah. Finstro Max says Blade and Twilight.
Mm.
I would have loved to have seen that crossover just to watch Blade use his katana on Edward.
Oh yeah.
Like that would have been a dream come true to watch Robert Pattinson get chopped up with a katana
If I ever meet a woman,
on
yeah,
screen, and in
yeah.
Minecraft, YouTube.
If I ever get find a woman that suddenly says that her favorite vampire movie is Twilight, I'm just gonna say I'm out of here. I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
legit, legit. If your favorite vampire movie is Twilight, don't waste your time talking to me because I'm done already. My
Yes.
personal favorite vampire movie is 30 Days of Night
Oh,
because
yeah.
I love the visceral vampire experience. Where it
Yeah.
actually is like these guys are monsters. These guys want you dead.
Yeah.
They will eat your blood. They will, whatever.
Didn't that movie
Because
come out in 2007?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so, yeah. And it was a one-off, never needed any sequels. It was great. But
Yeah.
it
But they did. I remember they did some sequels. So they did one
did they
sequel
do a
and then
sequel to that one?
yeah, they did. They did do a sequel to it. Oh, it was called what was it called? 30 Days of Night, Dark Days was the sequel.
Okay.
I never seen the sequel. I've only seen the first one, and I know they did some prequel series, like
Okay. I'll
a
have to look into that then because I didn't
yeah,
know that.
and they also did a sequel miniseries, Dust to Dust, and then it was a straight home to video sequel, Dark Days. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Vince Womack hasn't seen that one. If you're really into violent vampire movies that are more like thriller horror focused, 30 Days of Night is a good one. If you're looking
Yeah.
more into like the vampire romance kind of feel shit, Interview with the Vampire is perfectly fine. Because
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
my thing is like I don't know how you feel about this, Jason, but I don't like the romanticized vampire bullshit myself.
Yeah, for me, if it's gonna, what do you mean, like with the romanticized,
Well,
like?
so back in the day, vampires were literally monstrous creatures of the night.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah, yeah,
were
yeah,
they were disfigured. They weren't like, and they used magic abilities to beguile people into becoming familiars or becoming,
yep, 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 yep,
victims and stuff like that.
yep.
And then somewhere they changed it to where Dracula wasn't necessarily a monster. He was a humanoid monster who was possessed by devil powers. And then he
Yeah,
became like a sex symbol.
yeah. No, I don't. I'm not so into that. And if you are gonna do like a movie or a show with some love story with vampires and stuff like that, it has to make sense. You have to really
Yeah,
have a good written story for it. Because take just Twilight and other movies, for example. They really fail with that kind of stuff.
they do. They do.
Underworld
And
is a good example of writing it good with the two main characters, with Selena and her partner, who unfortunately is not in the rest of the sequels, but
right.
but that was scheduling issues because he did a TV show too.
Mhm.
But when it comes to certain stuff, it has to be like really well written. But I'm more into I really like just vampires being evil, and if you have a movie, you have a one hero who's gonna let's take Hammer films for example. with Christopher Lee as
Yeah.
Dracula and all that,
Hmm.
and he was evil,
He
and
was
then you
so
had
good.
yeah, and then you had Peter Cushing, and all that in the movie, and just the dynamic and all that. It's just that was amazing when you get that chemistry of bad and evil, no bad, good and evil. It is,
Well, and that's where like some of my favorite vampire stuff is where it's more focused on the good and evil fight than the fact that like uh the vampire is some like suave playboy that
yeah.
is in high
Because we don't
society.
get that
And
anymore in movies. We don't get like this disfigured vampires or monsters anymore.
yeah, and that's one of the things that made them terrifying. If you look back at the original old school vampire movies, like he was bald, incredibly pale, pointy
Yeah,
ears,
yeah. Long
hunched.
fingernails,
Yeah,
and
and he was actually a disgusting individual. Dracula was,
yeah.
and like I like how Renfield played on that a little bit.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
comedy movie where they were
yeah,
like when he hadn't fed for a long time, he was just this disgusting, dripping
yeah,
nastiness, and it
yeah.
was like, hell yeah. Oh, hail to Lester
Hey,
San Jose the
Lester,
Skeptor Tank. How you doing, buddy?
my
He says,
top
hey all.
G.
Yeah. Likely will be listening and working. Interesting stuff so far. Well, thank you and welcome.
How did you
Um,
think about that the Renfield movie with Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult?
I liked it. I liked the way it
Yeah.
was done. Um, my only complaint with that movie um is I don't remember his name. The guy that played Renfield. He has so much potential to be like a serious good
Oh,
actor.
Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, but they always seem to neuter his roles and make him a pussy.
Yeah, because
And that's
he's a
he
good
did a
actor.
great job and he came across
Yeah,
as strong in certain parts of the movies, but it's like I would like to see a movie with Nicholas Hoult where he's
just
that
serious.
character the whole time. But
Yeah,
that movie was good. I liked that
yeah, I
movie.
liked it. I
Um
liked it too. I
I
just
I
hated that Asian woman that also plays in other stuff because she plays
yeah.
the same all the time. But I
Yeah.
like the movie, and I like that. I just think Nicolas Cage was a good fit for the role
Dude,
because it's Nicolas fucking Cage, man.
yeah,
And
you
when he
can't
was
go wrong
looking
with Nicolas
ugly,
Cage's
yeah,
Dracula.
and when he looks really ugly, that feels like,
Mhm.
he is Dracula. He is real disfigured right here, and he needs to
Yeah,
suck the blood, and he's really specific on what type of blood he wants to, like, that will help him to heal faster and all that kind of stuff, and what tastes good. And that's what I like with it, That I need more movies with a good Dracula.
right? Vince Womack says, "If you ever played Vampire the Masquerade, that is filled with all kinds of vampires, from pale bald Nosferatu to the heartthrobs."
Okay.
Nice.
I'm not
I might
familiar.
actually have to check that out. I've never heard
Yeah.
of that game before. Um, sounds pretty cool.
Vampires of the Masquerade.
So, I guess if I had to say I had a second favorite, it would be the Skinwalkers when it came to
Oh,
monsters.
yeah.
Because I know a lot of people are really into werewolves, and I fully support being into werewolves. That's a cool thing to be in. I just watched Trick or Treat for the first time. I'll do a full review on that. But the
Oh,
vampires, or I
really?
mean the werewolves in that were fucking great. But
Yeah,
like
Trick and Treat. When did that come out again? No,
Trick or
Skinwalkers.
Treat, yeah, Trick or
Yeah,
Treat was 2007. But
yeah, I
what
remember. But Skinwalkers.
Yeah,
When
the
did they?
Skinwalker lore is one of the most in-depth, engaging ones
Mm,
because you can actually find Skinwalker lore from all over the world. Because what Skinwalkers
mm,
are is shapeshifters. They're demon shapeshifters that can take the form of humans, wolves,
yeah,
panthers, depending on if you're in the jungle or not, and stuff like that.
and they will
And
trick you too
they
to
will.
get you.
They'll trick you and they'll mimic your voice. They'll mimic other people's voices
But
and
they
they'll
will
all
always
kinds of stuff.
they will always with them. It will always be a little thing off because they cannot really. imitate you perfectly.
Mhm.
But I really like that lore is because dude, that is scary. It's just like suddenly you go outside and you're trying to find your friend, or you think your friend is coming over or whatever. It's just like suddenly the person looks like your friend and everything's just like, and then they trick you and then boom, oh shit, you're
"Oh,
you're dead.
man, you're eating my liver. What the fuck, John?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, "What?" And
Yeah.
yes, again, Vince Womack says again, Underworld did a good job depicting werewolves.
Oh
I
yes.
liked the lichens, in
Oh yeah, the
Underworld,
Lycans
won't lie.
movie. Yeah,
Uh,
oh, it's
dude,
good.
but
That's a good
overall, like,
good movie.
skinwalkers are crazy scary because they're in as many cultures as Bigfoot, but they're never a good guy. There are never romanticized skinwalkers.
No,
There are never like, oh well,
it's not.
I'm an anti-hero skinwalker or
Yeah,
anything like that.
it's
It's
not
all
like you have a, a Bella and a Skinwalker falling in love.
right, right. If Twilight would have had a skinwalker in it, everybody'd be fucked. They all be
Yep,
dead. And it'd be like,
yep,
oh yeah, this is the Wendigo. Yeah, I hope you
yep,
have fun with him. But
yep.
and they can take all kinds of different like shapes and stuff too, and that's one of the things that makes it crazy. Because I remember an old Native American legend about a skinwalker in like, I want to say it was either Nebraska or New Mexico, but it was like a
Yeah,
multifaceted skinwalker that could take the shape of a coyote or a rabbit or an eagle or a wise old man and all this other stuff. But he'd always come to you in the middle of the desert whenever you're out there for whatever reason, and he would try to get you to get away from your campfire so he could kill you and take your skin, you know, and
yep,
have another appearance to take on. Um,
yep.
Vince Womack says, I have to go with the classic American Werewolf in London or the original The Wolfman. Both
Yeah,
very awesome movies.
yeah. Good
Um,
picks.
wasn't there a follow up to American Werewolf in London? Was it American Werewolf in
Oh,
Paris or something like that? I don't remember. But I want to say there was. But yeah, the Native Americans and native lore have some terrifying fucking monsters in them.
yep.
Like, Vince Womack says you have to watch Wallace and Gromit to
Oh
see the
yes,
were rabbit. The were
that was
rabbit.
fun.
That was
No, I know.
great.
I know there is, we it is the skinwalkers. We have, also cannibal dwarves. For example, Wendigos, for example, is a big one. Um, and then we also have, what's it called again? A Queen of Death Valley or something. So we,
Not familiar with that one.
yeah, I'm not that familiar with it. I just know about it, but I'm not that familiar with the Queen of
S-
Death Valley.
See,
But
when it comes to female monsters, like what comes to your mind when you think female monster?
I have no fucking clue because I've not thought about that much,
Yeah,
you know?
because 80% of monsters are typically characterized as male.
Yep.
But some of the more terrifying ones that I've seen have been female monsters. Primary example would be the Mama Yata. Um,
Oh, yeah.
down
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Brazil and
yeah,
most of the Amazon basin, they believe in the Mama Yata. And what
yep,
she is she's a water spirit who will oftentimes take the form of a giant fish. But she literally like siren songs it, brings you out, drowns you, and then lets them eat you. Lets like the wildlife of the river eat you. And that's like her sole purpose. Vince Womack says succubus. That's true. Female
yeah,
demon. And hail to release the McCracken. He says Amber Heard. Uh, okay, we're talking legend monsters, not real monsters. Okay. Okay. We're trying to keep it out of the realm of terrifying shit like thinking of Amber Heard. Um,
yeah. And I also, when we did talk about, I did remember we also have the myth of the Siberian woman, the dancing lady that you will see on the street dancing, and she will come closer and closer to you. It's a really old myth.
I
Uh,
I think I know. I think I've heard that one before. Hail to the
yeah.
lovely Sherry.
So, a lot of people, when they see her, you can see her dancing and singing sad songs and all that kind of stuff. So I know about that, for example.
Hell yeah. The dancer one is very interesting because I've actually heard a few myths coming from Mexico where like La Llorona, didn't pronounce that right, and a couple of their other female demons and monsters will dance to
Mm,
entice. And that's one of the
yeah,
things that is very common in female monster lore, is that they do something to seduce a man or children into coming to them. And
yeah,
like it's very different in contrast to something along the lines of like a vampire lore where they hunt.
yeah,
They're more trappers when it comes to the female
yeah,
types.
yeah.
Uh
Yeah, the one from Beowulf,
the
yes.
Beowulf
Angelina
was,
Jolie, if I don't remember wrong, that was Angelina
dude,
Jolie.
oh my
I
gosh,
remember that
she was
movie.
so hot. But anyway,
Love that movie.
yeah, that was that a Gaelic legend?
I don't
I
remember.
can't
It's
remember
so
either.
long.
Release and McCracken says sirens. Yes, the evil mermaids.
Oh, yes,
Um, and
yes.
it's mermaids is another weird one. I know it's technically a cryptid, but it's another weird monster thing because half the time they're evil, half the time they're not. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
like it when they're evil,
yeah,
and
evil
they lure
mermaids is
you.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I love the like the transformation of evil mermaids where they're like, I'm a
Yeah.
beautiful lady, now I'm a
Mm,
psycho.
yes,
you
exactly,
know,
and I think that's amazing. That's really fun when you have stuff like that,
hell yeah, hell yeah.
and not like,
He says Medusa. Yes, the Gorgons, strictly female evil.
yeah.
Um, don't listen to people if they tell you there's a male Gorgon. Okay, even according to mythology, Gorgons were never male, ever. So just saying. But so in Norway, I know that Scandinavia has a lot of crazy monster myths and legends and stuff, and it goes well beyond trolls. Everybody, just saying. Um, from your native lore, is there a specific monster legend that might stick out to you?
Uh, Not really. It is 90% of what we hear about and all that kind of stuff is big trolls who actually wandered the time and but I know the castle they say that is haunted. I know we have like certain places that are like haunted and people are traveling here and there. We did have a mental institution that was like really big back in the day, but unfortunately, the thing with it is that Norway started to like take down the whole block. They're ripping it all apart and all that because they don't want people to go there. So I remember back in the day there were some YouTubers, legit YouTubers, that actually went there and tried to like see if they could get some answers and see if they could see if there actually was some living things there. And after that, they got in trouble with the fucking police and
Of
everything.
course. Thanks,
Yep,
Norway.
yep.
Gosh.
But no, that they use that place. A lot of people were experimented on, and they say that it is a myth. Not many people are actually traveling there anymore because security and other shit. But they
Mhm.
say there is like a little spot down in the woods there that is like a secret room you can open, and you will find a place where they actually fucked people up.
Wow.
And they say like ghosts and everything, still hunts that place after all that. So if you go, it's really creepy there too. It's like it is creepy. It's really fun creepy. I always wanted to travel there, so that's like one of the big ones in Norway was Lie, a mental institution, was one of the big ones, and
Wow.
of course trolls. We have a lot of ghost stories, more than other than trolls and ghosts here in Norway.
Yeah. The lovely Sherry says, I always wondered if there was a creature with a fish head and human legs. There are actually some uh, mythologies regarding this type of creature. One of which, drawing a blank on the name, but it's a Japanese one, similar to the kappa, which
Mm,
is a reptile that stands on two legs, has webbed fingers and all this crazy stuff, steals kids. But there was one in Japan that would it was a demon that would lay inside of a river. and its head would look like a fish, and the fisherman would go down and try to catch him, and then he would kind of like crocodile it and come out and
Mm.
grab the motherfucker and drown him in the river. And
Yep.
I always thought that that was a super creepy like legend. Japan has a lot of creepy ass fucking legends
Oh
coming out
yeah,
of it.
Japan is just they have so much.
They do, and it's weird because like, you know, modern minds want to go, well, obviously it's not real. They just misunderstood nature or whatever like that. But then like you see things like the suicide woods, the suicide forest
Yeah.
in Japan, and you see things like there's entire towns that are deserted because they are supposedly infested with demons and infested with ghosts and stuff like that. And it's not just like haunted ghost town. It's like you walk in here, you're fucked kind of thing. You know, like you
Yep.
walk in, your mind breaks, and the next thing you know, you're dead. Like Japan is a scary
Yep.
place.
Yep.
um,
And oh, I just the suicide forest, man.
oh, dude.
It is a crazy place, and there's a lot of people that says they are kind of demons, ghosts that still wander those woods too. After all the people that commit suicide,
Yep.
and I've also heard like stories like the forest can like trick you into go in there. It's
Mhm.
like it has some, they say, some kind of powers in a way. There is something haunted there that will trick you in, and
Yep.
you it will trick you to commit suicide even if you want to or not. So
Yeah.
it's like,
There's actually a place in the United States that's very similar. I want to say it's in either Pennsylvania or I know it's one of the northeastern states, but it's a road where it has a detour, right? The one road you can take, it takes 8 miles to get to the next town. The other road that you can take takes 36 miles to get to the next town.
mm,
Nobody takes the 6 mile road. And it's because it goes by this one stretch of swamps and stuff where people report seeing like black-eyed children, um, women ghosts, like not your lady
yeah,
in white stuff, but like, you know, like female
yeah,
ghosts, like she runs off into the
yeah,
woods hoping you'll chase her to try and help, and
yeah.
like crazy
No,
stuff. It's very
yeah.
close to the town that inspired Silent Hill.
Yeah,
um
and if you also like, if you read some of Junji Ito's story work, his mangas and stuff, he takes a lot of inspirations from a lot of myths and all that, and
mhm.
creates stories out of them. And when you like really read into what he's based it off, you're just like, shit, that is so fucking crazy, really scary things. If it's real or not, it's just really fucking crazy.
It really is. And hail to Mass Grave. How you doing, buddy? So I guess the question here, since we've moved into hauntings and stuff, do you believe in ghosts?
Always have my whole life. I've experienced stuff that I cannot explain. So can my dad can also say that. I remember when we used to live in our old house. One of the people that lived there, he was the brother to the owner, and the owner was a good friend of my dad's. He got in an accident and he hit his head, and his head got really fucked up, and he did survive for a little bit, but he ended up dying later on in that home. And yeah, he was still there, we can say. We can say that me and my dad have seen him. We've seen stuff, suddenly moving, and our dog, you have to trust dogs. They will feel stuff that you will not. So especially in my room is mostly where the guy was sleeping, where I had my room. So my dog had a really hard time to be in that room because there was something there. And I also remember, since I was working out and stuff as a child too, and dancing and then working out with weights and stuff. So when I was, listening to music, suddenly, I used my old Xbox, my old fucking
Mhm.
Xbox, the original.
Hell
And
yeah.
every time a lot of times when I was going to go to switch a song, the controller was out, and I did not touch that controller. Every time I went away from it, I'm like, I'm not going to touch it. And then when I went back, it's like it's out again. And it also happened with my music start to turn up and all that. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? No, so we had a lot of weird incidents in that home, and
Yeah, I have a friend who refers to those as strong winds. That's his justification for it. Like anything creepy like that happens, he's like, "That's a strong breeze." I'm like, "We're in a
yeah,
basement, dude." He's like, "I don't care. That's a strong
yeah,
breeze. Get me the fuck
and
out of this basement."
we had some weird incidents that suddenly, we have had cats and stuff, and some of those cats went to the loft because we had a loft there, and that's also where this guy used to be a lot before he died. Well, we can just say, we have found cats there who died out of the fucking blue of no particular fucking reason up there. So that me and my dad were really creeped out about that because that made no fucking sense. Why suddenly there's a cat there and suddenly just like what the fuck?
Yeah.
So no, so that's some weird experiences that I've had at that place. So always believed in it. I remember back in the day too. I lived in another place. This was actually before I moved away from my crazy ass mom. Um, that place was really weird and haunted. We can say. I remember I was gonna go to the toilet one day when I was a child, and then I turn around and I see, into the fucking living room, and there's it's like a big, a guy, totally black shadow, and sits there. No, it's just it was my mom and my sister and and me who is in that apartment, and that made no sense to none of us. Me and my little sister, we heard someone washing up dishes in there. It was just like we have the room right where the dishes, where the kitchen is. Nobody there, and we got to know a lot of the story of that apartment, the block that we were living in. Is that it was
Mhm.
a normal place that people committed suicide
Oh wow.
there, so it was a that have happened a lot there. So um,
So
no,
when it comes to shadow figures, let's call
yeah,
them, the big black,
mm.
nondescript masses, right? Do you think that those are more human entity spirits or like more like demons, interdimensional being kind of things? What's your opinion on that?
For me, it's like it really depends because you can have, in my view, you can have demons that tricks you.
Hmm.
And that really wants to do something bad. It could be a lost soul that haven't gone away. It could still just be a soul, and they're still just a shadow. You don't know who it is, or I don't know. There's so many contexts to what it can be, and that's what's so crazy. It's like I remember also back at a school. I'm not gonna say where I went to school when I was a child because I don't want to dox where I'm from, but
Right.
that school, was they had a bomb bunker there because this place was used in the war.
Mm.
So we had a sleepover with my class and all that at the school, and we can just say that that school is known for being haunted. And when we were like, we were running around having fun, and suddenly outside, when we see through the window, you see a big guy who had like clothing basically from the war and basically glowing eyes, and we just run the fuck out of there. But we don't know what the fuck that was. We just like that was some unexplained shit. So that could have been a demon. It could have been something like that. It's hard to explain a lot of this stuff, but I do believe in it, and I think there are nice spirits out there. I think there are evil demon spirits who wants to harm you and stuff like that. So
See, and I also believe in it, but I've never had any personal experiences with it. My belief comes almost entirely from my religious standing, which is where I differ from 90% of other Christians, is the fact that, yes, I believe in the devil. I believe in
yeah,
demons. I'm not going to reject them just because I believe in the other side.
yeah,
I recognize that they exist. But my big thing is like recently, uh, from what I've seen, paranormal activity has been increasing worldwide.
yeah.
Now, I have simple rules when it comes to looking at paranormal investigator videos.
Oh,
One, never trust anything out of Japan. Never. Okay.
no, I know.
Never. It's always the same chick in white from The Grudge.
Hmm.
So don't trust anything that comes out from Japan. Um, the Middle East is probably one of the most believable areas to get paranormal activity from.
Mm,
Uh, at least the videos, just because like those guys don't really lean heavy into like video editing and all this other stuff. They've
mm.
got a lot to worry
Be
about in that
be
region
careful
of
with
the
a lot of
world.
YouTubers right there. I remember I was watching a stream of someone I know. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say the person's name, but this person, watched the video and believed the fucking video, and I actually pointed out every little single detail how to edit a video like that, and that's how I know these YouTubers are fake. Because you can see it on the editing, and you don't see the ghost, and then they switch a camera angle, and the person gets dragged. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's easy to do. You have to be careful with those.
So one of my favorite paranormal investigative teams to watch is Mindseed TV. Okay. These guys have over 1 million
Mm,
subscribers, constantly being accused of faking shit
mm.
because uh, Casey Nolan or Casey, my brain's breaking on his name. Damn it. Why can't I remember his name? He's one of my favorite paranormal investigators, but he is an incredible video editor.
Yeah.
And the thing that gets me about his stuff is like in the earlier days when the accusations were far higher on him faking stuff,
Mm.
you could actually slow down uh, the video and see certain areas where he did a little like jump cut stuff in between scenes.
Yeah.
And I'm able to forgive certain things like that because there's a great chance that the batteries died, he ran out of space, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. But I actually commented on one of his videos one time and I was like, dude, this is some scary shit. Like, you guys better
Mm.
stay safe out there. And like, I got attacked by the comment section.
Oh
Like,
god, of
everybody
course.
jumping in, like, "Yo, you're a fucking retard. Like, I can't believe you actually
Yeah.
think this is real, blah, 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 blah," all this other stuff. And I'm like, with all of the stuff that he does, especially
Mm.
these days, it would be too hard to fake most of it.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets me is like he could have faked a couple of things in the past, but I
Yeah.
highly doubt that it's all fake.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it is same with, a lot of programs out there. I think some of the episodes that I've seen, we have like a show in Norway. I believe some episodes can be real, and I know certain of the places they've been, and I know they are claimed to be, haunted and all that kind of stuff. But I also know a lot of the fucking episodes were fake. The fun things that me and my dad, we knew some people that were on the
yeah,
show, and yeah, they came out and say they just did it for the money.
yeah.
So it was not real, but they used to fake certain stuff. But certain stuff I do believe can be real, even if it's
Mhm.
YouTubers, Twitch, whatever platform you're using. I think some of it can be real, and a lot
Mhm.
of it can be fake. Um,
Indeed. Indeed. Especially in today's clickbaity world.
oh yeah,
Release the McCracken says, I used to watch Mindseed until I found the video where his guy was still in the video where they claimed it was no one there. Um, one of the reasons that I watch Mindseed so regularly is because they provide the horror entertainment regardless of
hmm
whether it is in fact real. They actually deliver it well. And that's something that I really look for. Hail to TZ Burton. How you doing, buddy?
hey,
Again, life-size comic plush. It's a nice one. And Ruben Christopher Haynes. Hail. He
hey,
says,
Ruben, my bro, good to see you.
indeed. You're looking good there, Ruben. The real evil are those who point and call you the villain. The root of evil is villager, or root of villain is villager. Yes, elite pointed at the dirty villagers and common folk as the cause of the Black Plague. Yes, real evil is definitely within the humans. No
Yeah.
doubt there.
Yeah, and also I am talking with some friends of mine who, the one guy who's a good friend of mine, he actually is with them, and they are TikTokers though, but they do like some, live streams and videos and stuff like that where they go to actually haunted places and stuff like no editing, no nada. They try to be as real as possible with this kind of stuff. And I really like that they do that. I've been talking with them because they're interested to like, hey, we want you to join us. And I'm just like, yeah, you dude, that would be fun. So I at some point next year maybe I will do something like that. And
See, and that was going to be my next question, actually, was would you go on a paranormal investigation?
oh
And
fuck yeah.
obviously, yeah, you would.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm not scared of anything, so hell yeah.
So over on the Rumble side, we have Fat Steven Seagal. Hello, my
Hey,
friend. It's
Fat Steven.
awesome to see you here. Uh, glad to see that you're also doing well on your Rumble channel. He says, I've had an experience was freaky during the day. Those are the experiences that really get people. They're like, it's bright as day, and for some reason, there's a giant black mass in front of me. Oh my gosh, what the hell am I going to do?
Yeah.
And Steven Seagal said, I loved uh, Ghost Adventures. He also made Partner. Congratulations on
Yeah,
partnership
congratulations
there,
on
dude.
partnership,
That's
bro.
awesome. Ghost Adventures, I liked for a little while, but I can't stand Zach Baggins.
I can actually agree with that one.
He just pisses me off. Like, he has a punchable face. His demeanor
Yes.
is stupid.
Yes.
He's like condescending and controlling, and he just pisses me off. I like
Yeah.
the show. I don't like him. See,
Yeah.
even
That's
Fat's
the
all
thing.
like Zach sucks. He does.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mister Bagman. Don't like you.
Yeah. But no, dude. I when I'm gonna, when I talk more to with these people, I've been debating, it wouldn't like really fun, dude, to like let's do a collab and we make them a little bit more quality video with this and we make it into YouTube and try to do something with that because it's a lot of potential, especially when there's no editing. They don't want to remove certain parts, even if it's a little bit boring, but they want to be real as
Right.
possible.
Mm-hmm. And okay, I got to ask your opinion on something now that we're talking
Okay.
about ghosts and paranormal videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Orbs.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on the orb phenomenon?
Uh, well, I know when back in the day when I saw a lot of pictures of Lier in Norway, the most haunted place. That's the mental institution. You did see a lot of orbs in certain places there, and I don't know. It might be real, it might not, but it is a big topic with that one, man. So, what's your opinion on? Because it's
Well, my problem with anything that a paranormal investigator would do is if it's easily explainable by any other means, you cannot
yeah,
validate it as a paranormal
yeah, exactly, yeah.
experience. Orbs could literally be anything. It can
Yes,
be
that is the thing too.
bugs, it could be dust perfectly reflecting the IR, because
Yep,
dust is reflective. That's something that a lot of people don't want to think about, is the fact that like
yep.
dust reflects light, especially if it's along the same wavelengths as IR.
Yeah, exactly. It's like even with Lear, it's a really old dusty place and all that kind of stuff.
Swamp gas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently
No,
Vince
so
works for the CIA.
yeah, but no, it can be a lot of these kind of stuff that's easy explainable with the orbs. Maybe orbs can be something else too, certain place. We don't know, that's the thing, but it's easy explainable with a lot of this other stuff. It could also be, stuff on your fucking camera that you need to clean up too.
Right? Yeah, it could be a speck on the lens, and a
Yeah.
lot of different things can happen. And that's one of the reasons that I hate, like, anytime someone's like, oh, and we caught this orb, and it's just like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
And it's like that it moved like dust.
Yep, that's
Like
the
there,
thing. So
and everybody in the paranormal communities and stuff seems to latch on to the orb phenomenon as
yeah.
being un like, oh my gosh, this is a
Yeah.
ghost. And it's like, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
That's as believable as like the SLS cameras that they get
y-
from from like, what is that?
Yeah.
The
No,
Connect
I agree with
cameras.
you.
Yeah. The stick figure thing. I've
Yeah.
seen those read empty space as people,
Yeah.
like in an area where there's absolutely no way that it's
Mm.
picking up a paranormal entity. you know, and it
Yeah.
so
No, I
Cr-
agree with you.
Ruben Christopher Haynes says, I'm recovering slowly, 358 pounds today, down 22 pounds since October 1st. Nice.
Good.
159 pounds to go to be Mr. 199. Well, congratulations.
Nice.
I applaud your commitment, and I pray that
If I had
you
a
continue
soundboard,
on.
I would give you a big applaud here.
Yeah, if I wasn't lazy, I would
Mm.
program that stuff in, but I'm lazy. So, weather balloon refracting light from Venus. Yep. Yep.
No, so I don't believe
Absolutely.
so much in orbs. Never have. It can be easy explainable.
Mhm.
Could it be incidents that some orbs could have been, ghost activity? Maybe, maybe. We don't know, but it's so easily explained.
It really is. But so, what are your thoughts on more modern monsters, like the rake, let's say? Because there's constantly they're blah, 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 they are constantly discovering new actual species of animal. They are constantly discovering what they previously thought were extinct species of animals. Do you think that within the monster world, if these things were to exist, the rake is a believable monster?
When I've seen, a lot of this rake stuff, where it, I do remember when this, became a phenomenon, and I used to be on creepy pasta a lot. So I do remember that that's where it all started. The rake was a monster that was, originally a fictional thing that happened on creepy pasta. Um, could it be real? Maybe. Who the fuck knows, Everyone, gets, like, inspiration from something. Maybe they was
Right.
inspired from something similar that they explained the rake to be. Um, but, well, I don't believe a lot of the stuff that is on creepypasta because that's 90% just fiction, for fun.
Yeah, it's like believing in Slender Man.
Yeah.
You know,
We had
I
an incident many years ago with those girls who believed in Slender Man and tried to offer a girl classmate. They stabbed her. She survived. She still lives. The people are still in prison. I hopefully. Yeah, they tricked her to go to the woods and they stabbed her, trying to kill her to sacrifice her to Slenderman, and she crawled to the road. I don't remember how many stabs. Let's see here. I just want to double check. It was a 12-year-old girl. She was 12-year-old when this happened. The other girls was a little bit older. She got 19 stabs in her body.
wow.
She survived and crawled until she got help. So they really believed in Slender Man, and they also made a movie, almost a movie about it, the Slender Man movie that was PG-13. They got into a lawsuit. They had to change every R rating stuff and change a lot of the story because they didn't. The parents of the girl did not like what they did. But there are people that actually believes in Slender Man. And like I always say, I've played the fucking Slender Man games and all that. He's not evil. He just needs someone who can paint a smile on his face. He just wants friends.
Yeah. See, and that's the problem that I have with most like modern or new uh paranormal cryptid, not cryptids, but like monsters and weird shit
Yeah.
like that, is the fact that people will believe anything.
Yep.
And I mean literally anything. Just look at history. I mean, you could look at all the UFO cults that have existed. You could look at all kinds of just different stuff. He's just misunderstood. He's gonna give
Exactly.
you that slender love.
Yeah, and it's
Wow.
creepypasta is one of the reasons where a lot of these modern movies, modern killers, monsters came, because of
Mm-hmm.
creepypasta. We have the Moo, for example, that the girl with that weird fucking the Moo stuff,
Yeah.
Jeff the Killer. Um, and there's like so many. We even had the creepypasta with Ben, who the Ben, in the Zelda games.
Yeah.
Smile Dog. It was some ILS Jack. It's just so many, and a lot of modern movies. The reason we also can know that they are not original, we know a lot of them have seen creepypasta and just takes a lot of fucking inspiration from it, because
Yeah.
that's where 90% of the modern horror stuff is from, is creepypasta.
Indeed. Ruben Christopher Haynes says analog horror is the creepiest. Slenderman adjacent. Um, Analog horror. Not sure what analog horror means.
Me neither.
At least, I mean, I am tired and have a headache. So if I do know what that means, I don't know. Vince Romack says, Moo Moo, you mean Hillary
Yeah,
Clinton?
yeah, she's real.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
If you ever need proof that demons exist, just look at the Democratic Party.
Yes, you have a bunch there.
And just to throw it out there, if you ever want to know that real evil exists, look at the Republican Party, because they're all fucking crazy too. Over on the Rumble side, Fat Steven says Disney movies are now horror. It's definitely terrifying to try and watch. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I do remember when Jeff the Killer became such a big thing and people were simping, they started do the romantic stuff. They like fetishized him. I was like, come on, dude. And this is what they're doing with a lot of movies too now. A lot of the younger audience are like simping for the monsters and
The
killers.
Dahmer thing, dude. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, man.
And that's, he had real simps too, that actually sent him. And I've seen a lot of fucking weird shit on TikTok and other websites. There's still young people to this day that is like they're in love with the guy.
That's so weird. Like
It is.
murder groupies, and I don't know what you would call them for that, but the other groupies just really just creep me the fuck out. Like I've seen teenage girls walking around with like Bundy on their shirts and shit. And I'm like,
yeah.
Do you understand what he would have done to you?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you do.
I've seen, people that have been in Asian shops and you could find weird fucking hoodies and t-shirts with I love this killers on. And I'm just like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. Ruben Christopher Haynes says analog horror is commonly characterized by low fidelity graphics, cryptic messages, and visual styles reminiscent of the 20th century television and analog recordings. Like the Blair Witch Project? Probably. He also says cryptic messages were my favorite. Make me want to know. And yes, Charles Manson as well. That was like, especially like women simped over Manson after he carved the shit in his forehead and went all like weird fucking looking.
Yeah.
It was weird. Crazy, crazy bullshit. But that is just a nice reminder that real monsters are humans.
Yep.
Because nothing's more terrifying than what a human being can do.
Yep.
Like, I would personally rather get into a boxing match with the devil himself than to have to deal with some of these crazy ass human beings that exist.
Yeah. But when we like mention, all of his more than monsters and all that, for me, they can be nice movies, nice fiction. That's all for me. I rather go after a lot of myths that can be real because it's been explained in ages and ages and before a lot of us existed. There's like carvings, here and there of certain monsters and myths here and there. So for me, that is more believable than these modern movies or modern takes on.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Hail to Christian Delorme. He says, bonjour, everybody. Just quick in and out. Just logged in to work. I'm subbed. I liked and now commented. Well, thank you, sir. And make sure everyone watching at home and on the replay does the same. It's awesome. And it's awesome to have Christian Delorme here. Thank you for joining the Toxel at Town Square Gilded as well. So we're coming up on the last 5 minutes of the show today.
Yep.
Monsters, paranormals, ghosts, goblins, things like that. It's a very diverse and complicated conversation to have a lot of the time, especially when you're
Mm,
dealing with individuals that are overly skeptic.
yep.
Because as Jason said earlier, there are things that we cannot explain.
Yep.
People have experiences that don't fit our understanding of reality,
Yeah.
and this
And I just think,
can cause problems for people.
yeah, I just think
But
it is, important. Sometimes you should be open-minded to a certain point.
to a
If you're
point,
too
yes.
open-minded, you can that can go over. You can become crazy, like
Yeah,
a lot of these
keep
modern horror
keep
fans.
keep an open mind, but don't be a sucker. I mean,
Yep,
honestly, like Winnie the Pooh's
exactly.
not going to come and drool all over you and murder you. So give me
Yeah,
a break.
just remember to look under your bed in case Kathleen Kennedy is under your bed.
Now that's a terrifying fucking thought.
Oh God, I
That
would
is a
midway.
terrifying thought. Luckily, I think she's too fat to fit under my bed. So Ruben Christopher Haynes says women simp for men in jail, betas simp for e-girls. Yeah, I don't simp for anyone because simp stands for a sucker idolizing mediocre pussy. And I will never let that
Yep.
go. Ever. It's not a
No,
good thing. It's
it's
not.
not a good thing. You will lose your money.
You will. A lot of it. Remember, buying a Tesla for someone to be called a follower. Um,
Yep.
just saying. Vince Romack says, too open minded and your brain might fall out. This is true.
Yep.
This is true.
That's
We've
why I
seen it
say
happen
to
a
a
lot.
certain point.
But
You need a combination of being a little open minded and also be a little, skeptical.
skepticism, open minded skepticism.
Yep.
Okay.
That's just
It's,
exactly what I am.
yeah, the agnostic approach. Like, I believe that there's a possibility, but I need evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And this that'll be one of my closing statements right now is we live in an age where you can get crystal clear photos and video of anything you want. Okay,
Yep.
stop giving me potato quality bullshit and
Yep.
telling me it's a ghost. I'm like, okay,
Yep.
you decrease the frame resolution so your buddy looks fuzzy.
Yep. It looks like a phone
Great.
from back in the fucking day.
Yeah, I'm like, it's 2023. Okay, the worst
Yep.
phones still have good cameras.
Yep.
Stop.
For fuck's sake. Well, now we have 4K pictures, videos, and everything. You can make a film on a phone. You can film with your goddamn phone to make
You
a film
can.
now.
And I don't want to hear the excuses that the file would be too big
Yep. I've
because
seen
yeah,
so many of that bullshit.
I get that recording 8 hours worth of a paranormal investigation takes up a lot of memory, but if you're going to do something like that, do it in high def and have a lot of memory cards.
Yep.
Plain and simple. I don't think there's any excuse for potato quality bullshit anymore.
And as an editor, I hate stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
When they have their excuses, and I'm just like, you're talking to someone who works with films and other stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I'll watch some of these paranormal videos on YouTube, and I'll be like, I can do that. I'll
Yes.
go upstairs and fake that video right now.
Yes.
Like,
Just tone down the resolution, do this, boom, you have it already.
and to pass on a piece of knowledge. Okay, if a paranormal investigator, which is pretty much all of them these days, uses a REM pod, don't don't trust anything that comes out of the REM pod because this is a radio
Yep.
slash electromagnetic monitor. Okay, so if you're watching a ghost video and they're using a REM pod and they're also using walkie talkies or anything along those lines, those walkie talkies can set off said REM pod. They can fake signals
Yep.
with a key fob for your car. They can fake signals with pretty much anything. A garage door opener will set those things off like crazy. So if you see a REM pod, don't trust that it's an accurate measure of anything. Period.
Yep.
Massgrave says, "Don't trust anything that comes out of a rim job." Duly noted.
Mm,
That's good advice too. Let's
Yep.
be honest. That's a good advice. Don't trust anything that comes out of a rim job. That'd
Yep.
be bad. It's a shitty experience, okay? But yeah. Last 30 seconds. Jason, tell them where they can find you, what you got
Oh,
going on.
Well, you can find me at 540 Studio. We are gonna stream, I think, tomorrow, but I also have another stream tomorrow. I'm gonna be a guest on Pacific Pop Talk Pacific. His name is Mike. We're having a Halloween special. We're gonna talk about horror movies and other stuff like that.
Nice.
So that's coming up. We will see if I will delay the stream or if I will do the stream a little earlier. We will see. I'm currently, since I didn't stream so much a couple of days, is because I'm also working on a music video for a band in Norway. And I've also been in some meetings with some secret projects that I am gonna work on. A lot of things that is coming up. You can find me there. You can find me at Pacific 4014. You can also sometimes find me on Pop Culture Minefield, sometimes on T-shirt Historian, and sometimes you will find me here too. So I want to say, thank you for having me. It was real fun talking about, ghosts and demons and other stuff like that,
Hell
because
yeah.
that is my world. I've always been, obsessed with it and love this world since I was young. And other than that, as I always say, life's too short, make the most of it. And me and Cory, we love you all. We appreciate all the support that we are getting. And we would not been here today if it wasn't for all of you guys out there. You inspire us to continue doing what we're doing. So, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Indeed. Um okay. I don't know if Ruben Christopher Haynes retracted that message or not, because it's not showing up on the YouTube side. But he says, what happens is that morons move the file and the phone downgrades the quality automatically to send via text. That happens all the time. So you need to be aware of that. Shit morons still take vertical video. Truth.
Yep.
Record in horizontal. Give me a full screen fucking video to look at, please.
Yep.
And of course, hail to 540 Studios. That's
Hey,
what he
thank you.
says. And yes, make sure you subscribe to Jason. He's got awesome content and he makes awesome merch. Links
Thank you.
are in the live stream chat. Boom, merch store. Good stuff. Good
Thank you.
stuff. As for me, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we will be doing Dick's News US. I have a lot of ridiculous bullshit to cover. I won't be covering another story of a man fucking a stuffed animal, just
Wait,
because that feels
what
like.
the fuck?
So last week we covered a story about a man getting arrested for fucking a stuffed animal in a car. And literally the next day, I found another news article about a man being arrested for fucking stuffed animals in a Target.
Oh my God. We are
And
living in a horror world, dude.
right.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Yeah.
Who does that
For
shit?
So that one is not one of our stories, but if you want to read the article, make sure you're a member of the Toxalat Town Square Gilded, where I drop some articles in the article drop section of the Toxalat Town Square. There's a lot of weird shit that I find. In case you guys didn't know, I'm a weird guy. I look for weird shit. That being said, Dick's News tonight and then Monday Meltdown over on Comics Division's channel. Other than that, tomorrow I will be doing a quick review on Trick or Treat from 2007. Finally got to watch that movie. It was the single most recommended movie of this year for people telling me to watch. So I watched it, and I will give my review on that tomorrow. Don't want to get into it too much, but
Good movie.
it is Halloween Eve, thus making it Devil's Night, thus meaning y'all should watch The fucking Crow. Fire it up. Yeah, just saying.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I like
already
that
on my
movie.
list.
I
Hey,
like
look at
that
my
movie.
picture, for fuck's
Yeah,
sake.
I know.
I
I
bet.
know. Yeah, Devil, like, I'm going to watch The Crow probably tonight at some point
Yep, same
when my
here, man.
insomnia kicks in. But
My favorite
besides
movie.
that, dude, it's a good movie. The first Crow movie, so good.
Yeah,
But
there's no sequels. They don't exist. There's just
yeah,
one movie.
dude, who was that? Edward Furlong? Was that who it was?
Yeah, in the last one, yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
so bad. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching here on YouTube and on the Rumble side. I see you, Fat Steven. What's up? But make sure you catch up with me later today. I should have some of the other Dick's Division boys on the stream tonight. We'll see. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay
See you
sexy,
later.
don't get murdered. And as always, have a wonderful time. Bye bye.